Hi, everybody. Good morning. Crafting Journey here. That Journey Chick on Instagram. Hope you're following me on Instagram. I do post from every now and then on Instagram. Oh, look, we're making progress. I outlined the kitty, the Cheshire cat. And I've been, working on the tree branch and, a lot of this is like single placing, but it's okay. I've been having fun with this painting. So this part down here is pretty much finished, like except for a hole here and there. But I'm not crazy about the flesh color here, but I think it looks good from a distance. From a distance or on the camera, you're like, yeah, it's okay. I think I would have chosen maybe a different flesh color, but I just noticed, look there, there's a teacup in the tree and a mushroom. Huh, isn't that cool? Isn't that funny, the little details you can pick out? And down here, this is supposed to be a stopwatch. I had no idea when I was diamond painting it, that's what it was. That's the fun of diamond painting. Sometimes little things, details will pop out at you that you're like, oh, isn't that cool? Anyway, I hope you guys had a great weekend. It was pajama party weekend. So we did a big pajama party on DP Addiction Adventures YouTube channel. That is Jennifer Roberts. Had a blast. We had Billy, Lizzie, Tia, Crashly, Palmy Angel, myself, Jen. I mean, it was just so much fun. Now, Palmy Angel did not have pajamas on because she's from down under and it wasn't even nighttime yet there. So, but in my house, any time of the day is pajama time. So you never know when you're going to find me in my jammies. Oh, Lewis, hey, don't go away. He's running the opposite direction. Lewis. I wonder if that's him or a cousin. I don't know. I can't see his, because he's got like a red front to him. The squirrels are back. Yay. I need to go up there and feed them. All right. So we got the light pad on. We got to choose a pen. The one with the freshest wax, I think. All right. So, oh, and then yesterday morning, in my lives, Sunday, mornings with Crafting Journey Live, we had the pajama after party. So that was myself, Jen from DP Addiction Adventures, and Tia. And anytime you get the three of us together, fun ensues. We had a nice little chat. I got to catch up with my girls, see what's been happening in their lives, see if, how things are opening up around them. Tia is from Las Vegas, and they're starting to do shows again, and she was talking about going to hang out by the pool, her and her mom, at one of the hotels. It's so funny. It's not, I live in Wichita. There's no option to hang out at a pool. There's, I lived in Florida for, 40 some years, and everybody had a pool. You didn't think twice about, I had a pool that I never went in. I had my own pool. Growing up, the kids had a pool. Them and their friends were in that pool every weekend. Everybody knew how to swim. The only time I would go in, more recently, just before I moved, I rented a home and I had a pool, and I would go in, I don't know, usually later in the evening, and I would just go in and kind of relax and do a few laps, and I would like to say that I could that I'd skinny dip, but there was a lot of neighbors, so I didn't do that so much. But that was always an option because it's your pool. You do what you want. So, and with Jennifer, her daughter plays soccer and she's in club soccer, so they're starting up full force. Which is good. Get the kids back into their activities. Let's have the kids feel some normalcy in their lives again. The suicide rates, not just amongst teenagers, but amongst veterans and the whole population in general, suicides are up, and it's just so terrible. Because people are lonely, they're depressed, they're isolated. Um, I am all those things, but I enjoy it. I've gotten so used to it. I enjoy it. Plus, I have all of you guys. I've people that I've met by having this channel. You guys keep me going. I know which ones I can call. I've got my little phone tree. If I'm feeling a little down, I just get one of you on the phone and bend your ear or talk about it here. You know, this channel has meant a lot to me. So, uh, it's International Women's Day. March 8th is International Women's Day, and I do want to spend a few minutes. I gloss over national days, but this one is particularly important, I feel. Did you know that in 1916, the first woman was admitted to Congress? So they had 0.2% of Congress was women back then. Now it's 23% of Congress, and we're still not equally represented in Congress. Only 23% of Congress is women, and I have to tell you, I went to law school with lots of women, so many women going to law school, but we were so quickly, I felt I was quickly, I can't speak for every other woman, but as our law careers don't have a lot of longevity unless you had the personality for it, because the men in that profession would just eat you alive. It was a good old boy profession, and it was very hard to break into as a woman. Now, lots of women have done it, but I think it just, like I said, it just takes a certain kind of personality. I did not have it. I loved practicing law, but the men were such, I'm going to put this politely, they were just dicks. Okay, they were. And I just didn't want to work with them. I mean, what a bunch of dicks. And the longer they practiced, the more dicky-ish they got. I don't even know if that's a word, dicky-ish. Anyway, but around the world, women struggle for health care, they struggle for education, employment, protection under the law. They struggle to be free from violence. We think we're in our little bubble here in the U.S. This is a big wide world where women are not treated equally, and they don't have access to all these things. So what do you do on International Women's Day? Educate yourself. Yeah, see if there's some kind of skill that you can share at a local craft fair, maybe teach other people what you've learned, and which is what I try to do. Sure, it's just crafting, but make other women feel good, by learning crafts. Why not? That way they can get good at it. They can open their own Etsy shops and become financially independent. And it's just a wonderful thing when you can do that for yourself. Now, I'm trying to my goal is to get this YouTube channel set up so that when I retire in a few years, I got a little bit of extra income to supplement my Social Security so that I'm not dependent on my family. Um, I do it mainly because I love it. I love the subscribers and I love you all, but um, and it's fun. It's super fun. But yeah, is there a financial reason I do it? Of course there is. Um, so educate yourself. Participate in a march if there's a march, for equal rights. Learn about the women who paved the way for rights and freedoms that we have today. Um, yeah, and check out some of those women that are around the world that are making these beautiful. They're doing these beautiful crafts, and I see them all the time on Facebook, Instagram, where these women they've gotten into these big collabs, and they're actually trying to become financially independent by crafting, and I think it's very cool. And and people are not putting up with violence anymore. Women are not. We're not going to put up with sexual harassment. We're not going to put up with violence. If a man is going to get violent with me, man, there is the door. I have been so lucky in my lifetime that I have never had a relationship with a violent person, a man. My first husband was just as docile as they come. Like, I think I was the dominant in that relationship. He was, just so easygoing. Police officer, but you wouldn't think so. He didn't have that police officer John Wayne mentality. He just didn't. He was never aggressive towards me at all. And I gotta say, we didn't fight that often, but when we fight, it was more like, like Lucy and Desi. I mean, it was just comical. I was trying to leave one day. I'm like, I'm moving out. Oh, you don't love me. I'm packing my bags, and he's unpacking the bags, and I'm back. It was funny. Our fights were funny. Um, but did we break up? Sure, we broke up because we grew apart. But that had nothing to do with violence in the relationship. And then I've had other, relationships since then, but never. I've just been so lucky. I've never had anybody raise, you know, their hand in violence towards me. So I don't honestly know what my reaction would be. I'd be so shocked. I'm sure I'd be shocked. But then I'd be like, okay, your suitcases, yeah, they got butterflies on them. I don't give a shit. Pack them. Get out of here. You can take my butterfly suitcases with you and you can move on down the road. I know it's not that simple. You're like, Rebecca, you don't understand. I know it's not that simple. I get it. There's so many factors that go into that, including that sometimes, the men are the ones that have the income. I get it. And if you're in that kind of relationship, please get help. I urge you to. So International Women's Day, let's support each other. How about that? Let's lift each other up. Whatever your friend or children or females are doing, lift them up. Tell them what a great job they're doing and help them out. Okay, soapbox. I'm off my soapbox. This chair. I need a new chair. Good God. Okay, judge, jury, and journey. Okay, it is March 8th. We are waiting. It is 8:22. We are waiting for the George Floyd trial to start. I do not believe it has started yet. I checked in earlier. I've got a couple of networks that I may go back and forth between Court TV and Law and Crime Network. Both they're covering it. The local TV is covering it. I mean, there's so many people covering this trial. Gavel to gavel. So today will begin jury selection. So I did notice that the appellate court overruled the judge on the third-degree murder thing. They sent it back to the court. What they did was they said, okay, judge, you're wrong. You decided, your reasoning for deciding against letting in the third degree murder charge was faulty. So you need to decide again. So now it's back down to the trial judge. So the trial judge has to listen to the appellate court so he doesn't get overruled again. And he's probably going to allow that third degree murder charge to come in. Now, later on this week, I'm going to show you the different charges that Derek Chauvin, and he's the gentleman that is on trial, the lead police officer on the scene. He is the one that had his knee on the neck of George Floyd. The other three officers that have been charged in the case will be tried later this summer. I don't know if that'll be in one trial or separate trials, but for some reason they decided to try Derek Chauvin separately and first. So jury selection begins today. It will only be audio. There will be no visual, nothing I can watch, which is fine. I have to work. So I just listen to them anyway. So I'll listen to that. A lot of that becomes very repetitive because they will bring in a group of people, ask them questions, weed out anybody that they don't want. They'll end up with maybe one or two or none. They'll bring in another group, and this will go on for maybe 2 to 3 weeks until they have a panel of I don't know. Generally, it's a 12-panel jury with 2 alternates, so 14 people they're looking for. I'm not sure about the state. Each state is different. The last trial I covered, it was 12. They had 14 jurors, and then just before the judge sends them back to deliberate, because the alternates do not know who they are. So all 14 people are sitting there listening very intently because nobody knows which one is the alternate. So right before the judge will send the jury back to deliberate, he will choose the 2 alternates. Like the last trial, he had like this little spinning barrel and all the names were in it, and he pulled out 2 names and he said, okay, you 2 get to go home. In trials that I've done, I knew who the alternates were because they were chosen ahead of time, but we didn't tell them. You didn't tell them that they were the alternates. But so different judges do it different ways. So also, I could cover another trial. There's some other trials that have gone on in the past that have been videotaped that I can go back and listen to and cover for you. You guys let me know if you're not really interested in this jury selection. I can cover another trial this week. There is a trial that I could cover of a man who murdered his wife, allegedly. There's a triple murder trial. I don't know, you guys decide and let me know. Today I will glean what I can from the jury selection. If you guys want me to do another trial, let me know in the comments and I'll start that tomorrow. Oh boy, my chest is, this anxiety is back. And I had such a good weekend and it's back, and I've had a quarter of a cup of coffee. It's not the coffee. So I don't know. I'm going to call my psychiatrist, and I'm going to call my regular doctor, and I'm going to get in there and go, what is going on? Yesterday I had such a relaxing day. None of this all day. None of this. I say this because this is where it is, right here. And then it goes down my arm like this tingling. I didn't have it yesterday. I was so relaxed yesterday. I started watching this new show. Oh my God, I can't remember the name of it, but there's like 10 seasons of it. I know you guys watch it. It's this crazy family. The father's always drunk. He's bipolar. And he's got all these kids, and the oldest daughter is kind of like running the house. one kid's gay, the other kid, there's the girl, the two boys, one is gay. There's a third boy who keeps trying to melt action heroes in the microwave. Um, you guys, oh, Shameless. That's the name of it, Shameless. Oh my God. It, I was laughing out loud. It was so funny. Oh my God. The father ends up living with this woman who has the weirdest sexual appetite you've ever seen. And she handcuffs him to the bed. I can't tell you what else happened, but I could, but this is a PG format here. Yeah, if you've never seen that show, I had heard you guys talking about it, saying how good it was, and so I think I watched 3, 4, 5 episodes. I was like, this is so funny. Sad but funny. Like they're the daughter, the younger daughter, kidnaps a baby. She's like, nobody was paying attention to him, so I took him. Oh my God. So they come up with this big plot to return the baby. Now the whole neighborhood's searching for this baby. Oh God, it was so funny. All right, it's called Shameless, guys. It is super funny. And I'm listening to the Viscount in the Bridgerton series. That's the second one, and I'm almost towards the end. I have a couple hours left in it, but oh, it's so good. Knee-knocking, good. Like, there's nothing left to the imagination. This writer is good. I like that kind of stuff. I like historic fiction, erotic fiction, and when you put it all in one barrel with a comedic aspect to it, I think it's a great book. Yeah, I know some of you have tried to read it and you didn't really care for it, but that's my cup of tea. Historic fiction with erotic and comedy thrown in, which you don't see that very often, but this writer's very good. So, where are we for time? Oh, we're good. Let's do this day in history. Do 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 do. I haven't done that in a while. Do 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 do. I started my Red Riding Hood. I got the 2 pieces that go on the 10 peg loom, or the, I don't know what they call it. Anyway, that wood loom that I have. So now it's more like a square, and it has 88 pegs to it now. And this, I have a round loom that had the right gauge, but it was only 80 pegs. This pattern called for 84 pegs, and you don't do it in a round, you do it in a flat panel. So I'm working back and forth on that, and I am loving the yarn. Oh my God, the yarn is gorgeous. I don't have it here to show you. Of course I don't. Oh, don't forget the March giveaway. Today's only March 8th, but at the end of the month, I'll put the little thing here so you guys can get in on it. Don't forget to get in on the giveaway. The giveaway's not till March 24th, I think. The end of the month, last Wednesday of the month. After my live with the Crafty Heifer, I will go live and I will do the giveaway. I'm giving away so many cool things of yarn. You guys have to tune in for that. But watch the video to the end, or just read the comments to answer the question. It's so funny when you ask that question, like only the first person has to listen, and everybody else just, oh, okay, that's the answer? Okay. So it's kind of silly to even ask the question, I guess. But fun, nonetheless. Okay, this day in history. What do we do with this day in history? Okay, we did that. Beavis and Butthead premieres on MTV. They aired the first episode of the animated series Beavis and Butthead, which would go on to become the network's highest rated series up to that point. Beavis and Butthead offered audience rude and crude buddy humor. How funny. In the tradition of the Three Stooges, Cheech and Chong, Wayne and Garth of Saturday Night Live, and Wayne's World movies, I did not care for Beavis and Butthead. I don't think I can claim that I watched a single episode of Beavis and Butthead. Now, I'm sure that my children did, but I did not. No, thank you. Um, mm. So, also on this day in history, I remember this, that Malaysian airline flight vanishes. This was in 2014. Flight 370 just vanishes. Nobody can find this plane. They don't know where it went down. They lose contact with air traffic control less than an hour after taking off from the Kuala Lumpur. Then they veer off course and disappear. Now, who suspects aliens? Please raise your hand if that went through your mind. Yes, it always does. Bermuda Triangle, they were just taken away. No, the plane actually did crash. They never found it. They never found the wreckage. But I understand that since that time, things have washed ashore, that, bits and pieces of the plane have come ashore, and they have identified it as belonging to that plane, but they don't know where the crash site is. Never found it. Spent millions of dollars looking for this thing. Never found it. Wow. Yeah, I mean, their air traffic control chatter, didn't reveal anything out of the ordinary. They were scheduled to land in Beijing, and then just vanished. I think they're all living very nice lives on another planet. Mm-hmm. By now they've learned the language of the aliens, and they fit in with the people. I'm crazy. I know. But come on, there's other life out there. There has to be. We cannot be the only people in this universe. So I think, there was some kind of alien plot to hijack a plane full of Earthlings and take them back and study them. I know, I'm crazy. It's like a Star Trek plot, isn't it? Those poor people, though. There was over 200 people on aboard. And if you, oh God, if one of them was your loved ones, I'm not meaning to make light of this, but it does seriously cross my mind when something like that happens. Like people go, oh, she just vanished. Like Mrs. Prokopovitz vanished. She went out one morning to take a little stroll around her house. The aliens beamed her up, and now she's living a happy little life on some other planet while her husband sits in jail for her murder. I don't know. I mean, there's got to be other life out there. Yeah. And do not lie. Don't tell me it doesn't cross your mind sometimes that these, this is why I don't walk so much. I'm kidding. That would be a great excuse. I don't want to get abducted by aliens. Oh my God. Jesus, I wish this would go away. It's terrible. So I'm gonna start my computer for work and start making phone calls to doctors today, because this is ridiculous. Because I have no reason to be anxious. I'm not anxious about anything. My life is really good right now. I have no reason to be anxious, but it's there nonetheless. So what is that all about? Oh, in 1950, Volkswagen comes out with the bus. Now, they came out with the Beetle, which was, they called it the Volkswagen Type 1, the Beetle. So the Volkswagen Type 2 was this VW bus. And that was in 1950. Oh, God, my dad had one of these, and when he would work on that thing himself out in the yard, and I can remember the curse words coming out of his mouth. Such angst on repairing this Volkswagen bus. But we had one in my family. But I never heard my father talk like that. But when he was working on the engine of that daggum thing, oh my God. The curse words would fly. The microbus. Now we think of it, with the peace signs and the, I don't know. Okay. Calm down, Rebecca. Anyway, guys, have a great Monday. It's Monday. Just another Monday. Have a great Monday. I will see you tomorrow morning in the morning show. Okay, let me know. Do you want me to cover another trial while jury selection is going on? Yes or no? And really, that's it. I love you all. See you tomorrow.